Wealth begins in your mind long before it ever hits your account. The difference isn't income, inheritance, or even your degree. It's mindset, the daily mental habits that shape every decision. But here's what they don't tell you. Most people are wired to stay broke. Not because they lack talent, but because they think in hours, not decades. They chase quick wins. They blame the economy. They confuse income with wealth. So lock in. Comment mindset right now if you're done living paycheck to paycheck mentally. And do not skip ahead. Section 5 reveals why failure is actually data, and Section 9 is the leverage secret that makes millionaires unemployable in the best way. This is the Millionaire Mindset Audiobook, rewired for retention. Engage 030. Write this down literally. Wealth is waiting on the other side of mental discipline, not fantasy.
Framework.
Let's build the framework. 1. Radical ownership. Stop blaming, start claiming. The first mental habit? Radical responsibility. Wealthy people don't blame the economy, their boss, their background, or bad luck. Even when life is unfair, they respond with ownership, not victimhood. Here is the law. You can't change what you don't claim. If your finances are chaotic, unclear, or underwhelming, claim it. Not with shame, with clarity. Clarity creates power. Start here. What financial beliefs do you repeat? What stories do you tell about money? What habits do you justify that keep you stuck? Most people live in reaction to money, chasing it, fearing it, avoiding it, wasting it. Wealthy thinkers build a relationship with money. They respect it. They use it as a tool, not an identity. Your new standard. I take full responsibility for my financial future. I think like a builder, not a blamer. I invest in my mindset before I invest in the market. Comment prompt. Type builder if you're done playing the victim with your finances. Stay tuned. 2. We're about to destroy the myth that high income equals wealth. Section 3 changes everything. 2. Long-term thinking, your competitive edge. Most people are wired for short-term rewards. Comfort now. Validation now. Results now, even if it costs them their future. Wealthy individuals think differently. They delay gratification. They zoom out. They make decisions based not on how it feels today, but on how it serves them years down the road. Let's be clear, this isn't just saving money. It's how you think across every domain, your time, your energy, your attention. The wealthy ask, what's the smartest way to build something sustainable? And will this decision serve my 5-year vision? The average asks, what's the quickest way to make money? That's the gap. Patience with urgency. Act now. But understand results take time. Impatience is expensive. It leads to rushed decisions, emotional spending, and abandoned plans. Your vision must excite your discipline. Define what freedom actually looks like for you. Then examine every habit. Does this align with the future I'm building? Engage. Comment your sub-to-1 distraction that steals your long-term focus. I read these. 3. Asset thinking, income, wealth. Here is the distinction that saves lives. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep, grow, and what works for you when you sleep. You can earn $200,000 and be broke if your lifestyle eats it all. You can earn $50,000 and become wealthy if you consistently build assets. Assets put money in your pocket. Investments, stocks, real estate. Intellectual property, books, courses, media. Skills that compound. Automated systems and business models. Liabilities take money out, even if they look like wealth. A fancy car funded by debt. A big house draining savings. Luxury clothes with zero return. Wealthy thinkers ask strategic questions before buying. Will this create value or just status? Is this a one-time cost or long-term equity? Am I buying freedom or feeding my ego? They don't just ask, how much can I earn? They ask, how much can I retain, invest, and leverage? Stay tuned. 4. Next, we talk about the one resource you can never replace, time. 4. Time is your real currency. You can always make more money. You can never make more time. Wealthy people obsess over time. They treat an hour like an investor treats capital. They ask, what is this hour worth? Not just my paycheck, but what it could produce. Is this the highest use of my time right now? Could someone else do this, freeing me to build? That's why they delegate. Not because they can't do it, but because they value their focus too much to waste it. They operate from priorities, not pressure. They identify their top 1-3 priorities daily and block focus time before anything else enters. They also guard mental bandwidth. Distraction is the enemy of wealth. Multitasking kills results. They batch tasks, protect mornings, reduce decision fatigue, and prioritize rest because a sharp mind builds sharper results. Finally, they think in years, not hours. Every hour invested is either building leverage or stealing it. Your mindset shift. I treat my time like currency. Every hour is an investment in my future. Engage. Drop the number of hours you wasted this week on low-value tasks. Be honest. 5. Failure is feedback, not your identity. Every wealthy person you admire has failed more than most people have tried. The difference? They don't see failure as personal. They see it as professional feedback. Average mindset. I failed, so I'm not good enough. Millionaire mindset. That didn't work. What's the data telling me? How do I improve? They build emotional tolerance for discomfort. They normalize rejection, embarrassment, and frustration, not because they enjoy pain, but because they refuse to be controlled by it. They also fail efficiently. They ask, what part worked? Was it timing, strategy, or execution? What will I do differently? Compare that to the average person who fails once and quits, or avoids trying altogether. They have a bias toward action. They don't wait for perfect clarity. They take the first step, learn faster, adjust earlier, and grow stronger. Your declaration, I don't fear failure, I use it. Every setback contains a lesson, and every lesson compounds. Comment prompt. Comment fail forward if you've been letting one failure stop your whole journey. 6. Self-belief. The world values you at your level. Here's a hard truth. The world will only value you to the degree that you value yourself. You may have strategy, work ethic, and opportunity, but without deep internal belief in your worth, you will undercharge, underperform, and undervalue your potential. Wealthy individuals believe in their value, not because they were born confident, but because they trained their minds to honor their power even when no one else does. They don't wait for permission. They don't outsource their worth to praise or validation. They decide they are worthy, then act like it. They also charge based on value, not insecurity. They ask, what result do I create? What mastery have I invested? What would I pay for this result? Then they price with intention, not greed, but clarity. Identity first, then action. They decide, I am a builder of wealth. I honor my time and value. Then behavior rises to meet that identity. Finally, they heal their relationship with money. They challenge subconscious beliefs like, if I succeed, people will judge me. If I charge more, I'm greedy. They rewire these stories so success feels safe. Your standard, my self-worth, is the foundation of my financial worth. Stay tuned, 8:30. Next, the hidden reason people stay poor. Environment. 7. Guard your environment like a fortress. Wealthy people understand proximity is power. You rise or fall to the level of the people around you. They audit their circle relentlessly. They don't tolerate energy-draining relationships, chronic complainers, or excuse makers. They spend time with action takers, problem solvers, and visionaries, because energy is contagious and so is mediocrity. They also design spaces that reflect their intentions, clean work areas, organized systems, visual reminders of standards. They consume information that elevates thinking, not mindless scrolling, not gossip. They feed their brains books, mentors, and insights, because every input shapes identity. And they manage emotional environment. They don't absorb negativity or participate in drama. They understand emotional energy is currency, and they protect it. Finally, they normalize wealth in their environment. They talk about assets, growth, and purpose, not scarcity and fear. Your environment is your responsibility. You may not control everything, but you control what you tolerate and what you seek out. Engage, tag someone in the comments who needs a new circle. Seriously, tag them. Financial clarity, face the numbers. Wealthy people don't avoid bank statements. They face them with power. Financial clarity isn't budgeting out of restriction. It's power through awareness. They regularly review total income, monthly expenses, investment performance, net worth, cash flow trends. Even when numbers feel messy, facing them turns stress into data, and data becomes direction. They also track and optimize cash flow. They ask, where is my money leaking? Where is it multiplying? They assign every dollar a job: wealth building, growth, lifestyle, legacy. Most importantly, they separate emotion from numbers. They don't make financial decisions from fear, excitement, or pressure. They make them from logic, principle, and vision. They automate and systemize. They make wealth the default setting, not a distant goal, by automating savings, investments, and debt payments. Your blueprint: I face my finances with clarity and power. I lead my money, it doesn't lead me. Comment prompt: what's the one number you've been avoiding? Drop it anonymously if you want, just name it. 9. Leverage and scalability. Stop trading time for money. Here is the upgrade that separates labor from leadership. Leverage. Most people believe to earn more, they must work more. That's the labor economy. Wealthy people understand wealth comes from multiplying impact through people, technology, systems, platforms, and intellectual capital. They ask, how can I earn while I sleep? How can I solve this once and get paid repeatedly? What can I automate, delegate, or systemize? They systemize the repeatable. If it needs to be done more than once, it becomes a process, not a repeated mental burden. They use other people's skills to multiply impact. They delegate what drains their time, not because they're lazy, but because their focus is too valuable to waste. They build platforms, not just products. YouTube channels, books, real estate portfolios, software, assets that generate value without their physical presence. And they think expansion, not maintenance. They ask, how can this be done 10x faster? How can this run without me? Your shift: I do not trade all my time for money. I build systems that multiply my value. Stay tuned. 11. The final section, consistency and legacy, ties it all together. 10. Consistency, the hidden accelerator. You don't need a viral moment. You need small actions repeated relentlessly. Wealthy people don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They understand compound growth, not just financially, but in skills, reputation, habits, and opportunity. They track progress, measure outcomes, and refine constantly. They don't blindly repeat, they optimize. They also build identity around discipline. They don't say, I'm trying to be consistent. They say, this is who I am. I follow through. I keep promises to myself. And they know motivation follows movement. They start the workout before they feel ready. They open the laptop before the perfect idea hits. They take action, then let action generate energy. Your standard: I follow through on what I start. I build systems that support my goals. I trust the compound power of small daily action. 11. Strategic decisions, purpose over pressure. Every decision is an asset or a liability. Millionaire thinkers don't decide reactively. They pause, assess, and connect the choice to their vision. They ask, does this expand my vision or dilute it? What is this costing me that I can't see? They manage risk, not fear it. They understand mistakes are data, and indecision is more expensive than most mistakes. They also use principles to simplify complex choices, personal guidelines like, only invest in what I understand, or, if it costs me peace, it's too expensive. Finally, they build confidence to decide alone. They welcome advice, but they don't depend on approval. They lead themselves even when it's unpopular, because wealth requires saying no firmly, clearly, and unapologetically. 12. Resilience, legacy, and the final shift. The wealthy don't just win. They recover, adapt, and keep moving. They separate failure from identity. They regulate emotion under pressure. They adapt instead of stagnating. And they stay anchored in purpose, because purpose gives endurance when motivation disappears. But here is the final mindset: legacy thinking. Wealth isn't just about earning, it's about value that lasts. Millionaire thinkers think in decades. They create platforms, mentor others, and live as stewards, not just consumers. They know money is a tool to move, grow, support, empower, and build. Your final declaration: I am a builder of wealth that matters. I create value that lasts beyond me. I think in decades. I live with purpose. I build for impact. Closing retention lock. That's the framework. Not fantasy, not luck. Principles available to everyone, especially you. So before you leave this video, do these 3 things. 1. Subscribe. Because mental discipline is a daily practice, not a one-time event. 2. Comment below. Which of these 12 shifts do you need most right now? 1. Ownership. 2. Long-term. 3. Assets. 4. Time. 5. Failure. 6. Self-belief. 7. Environment. 8. Clarity. 9. Leverage. 10. Consistency. 11. Decisions. 12. Legacy. 3. Share this with someone trapped in the labor economy of their own mind. Remember, you don't need $1 million to think like a millionaire. You need to value what matters most. And that starts with the decision you make in the next 60 seconds. Which one will it be? Drop your number below. See you in the next one.